Hi, welcome back to my channel. This is Ra, and you're on a journey with me through the 12 steps of recovery. So thank you for clicking back on. Today we're going to talk about step 10. And step 10 talks about we continue to take personal inventory, and when we were wrong, promptly admitted it. So what does that mean? That is, if you've worked steps 1 through 9, you've seen your powerlessness over others, drugs, alcohol, how people act, don't act, what they say, don't say. So you realize that the only person you have power is within you and how you respond. And then we found a God of our own understanding, whatever that is for you. We've turned our will, our old behavior over. And 4, we made a searching inventory. So what we have done is we've looked at how others have behaved and how we have behaved within how others have behaved, how our own emotional response has been. We've looked at our fears, and I haven't talked about the sex inventory yet. I may not. And step 5, we gave it to another. Step 6 and 7, we looked at our old beliefs. We looked at our defects of character and how to do the opposite. So we've become conscious of when I'm in fear or when I'm in envy, resentment, anything that you had on your list. And then 8 and 9, we wrote down the people that we had harmed, and we became willing to make amends to them. And I hope that you put yourself on that list. So that has prepared us to bring us here to step 10. Now, step 10 is about daily. It's a daily reflection of yourself and how I behaved in today. And this is about a step that talks about kind of like going within. This is the journey of you. So you've done all that work that has brought you here into a new you, into a new way of showing up into the world, at your work, with your family, with your friends. And when something goes wrong or not, well, there's no such thing as wrong or right. This is about if somebody is pissing me off, how am I going to respond? Am I going to go back into old behavior, or am I going to choose what I have learned, the knowledge that I have gained, and how I'm going to respond and take responsibility for my own actions? And if I go to lash out or I do something to you, then I'm to promptly to clean that up. Because for an alcoholic to go into resentment or fear or self-righteousness, any of those can lead us back to the drink, not knowing how to respond in the day that we are in. So it is daily. It's one day at a time. And step 10 is a great reminder of that, because it shows where is it that I'm putting fault again? Where is it that I'm blaming you for how I feel? Or the other way around, I'm taking responsibility for how you feel, because it's not my responsibility to change the way you look at things. So I'm to become the change that I'm seeking within you. So for me, step 10 has been about doing something wrong, and I get angry at you and I can't go to sleep. At the end of the day, I'm looking at where could I have acted differently? Where could I have responded differently? Where could I have shown up differently? And I'm to clean it up immediately, right? I'm not to go to sleep with that. I have learned, right? I have learned that this new me doesn't sit right with me to go to bed angry, or to have reacted or overreacted, or went to self-pity or into resentment or into anger or into fear. And how can I now clean this up? So step 10 is about that, is about cleaning it up right away. So I just want to read here. So on page 90 of step 10, it says, it is a spiritual axiom that every time we're disturbed, no matter what the cause, there's something wrong with us. If somebody hurts us and when we are sore, we are in the wrong also. But are there no exceptions to this rule? What about justifiable anger? I used to say that all the time. Well, this person still did that and that. And you know what? I have a right to that anger. But no, because again, nobody can do it to me. It's choice whether I'm going to stay angry or get angry. So it's like the relationship, but he cheated or she did that. But again, I can't control what the other person does. This is about how I can control my response to that, and how I can behave in the day that I'm in. I can't make you happy. It's not my job to make you happy. My job here on this planet is to clean up my side and to become a better human being on my existence here on this planet. So I'm here to shift who I used to be into who I'm becoming, because I've done the work to see myself, to see the reflection of myself through other people. And let me tell you, it's not something that you do like I do daily and I'm just this perfect, because I am far from perfect, and I am perfect in my imperfect. They're going to, trigger me. So, but those triggers are really here to work for me and not against me, because I have shifted the way I look at situations in my life today. And through the 7 years of sobriety, I have gone back to the blame and fear has been very big. So if I'm in fear in something and I let that fear to continue, then I'm not really working my program of shifting myself. I'm here to face my fears and see if they're really real and why they're still there, right? So it's the same thing with anger. And let me tell you, for me, it's like, oh boy, family can trigger the shit out of me still to this day. And but I can go into resentment like that with family. It's like, if she would just change, or if she would stop complaining, then, oh my God, my day would be fine. And I don't want to hear this shit. And I don't want to, and that goes on and on and on. But again, it's not up to my mother or my family to change. They're not working a recovery program or a 12-step program. I am. And because I am, I have to take responsibility for myself in how I show up today. And sometimes, not saying a word and just realizing it's not about me, but that I can recognize, wow, this is something that I do understand, so I can have compassion and empathy for what the other person is feeling or what it is that they're going through. And I can shift my response to that and hence have a better day because of that, instead of going back into the old ways and attacking and reacting. So step 10 is about really taking that personal inventory of, how have I shifted, and am I conscious today? Am I conscious about others and about myself? And this is about, it's not about blame, and it definitely isn't about holding resentments, because they say, for an alcoholic, resentment is the number one offender. And the last thing that one wants to do as a recovering alcoholic is to stay in resentment, anger, and fear, and things of that nature that could take me out. And so I have to stay well-centered. I have to clean it up before I go to sleep. If something of old behavior comes up, I'm here to clean it up right away. So this is about going within, addressing it. And step 10 also talks about, like, you may want to call your sponsor at the end of the day, or talk to a friend. And I'll tell you what, this is one step that I kind of skipped over for a very long time. I did not want to look at, so I was having reoccurring patterns come up throughout my sobriety, because I didn't want to talk about my anger or my things. I had justifiable anger. If this person didn't lie to me. So again, everyone is a reflection. So how am I lying to myself? Am I still looking to blame others to clean up my life for me? Am I resenting others for being in fear of doing something like like family calls, and I leave everything and I run over to help them, and then I'm in anger and I'm in resentment because I gave up my day and my time. And so and then I'll say, oh, I'm being of service, but that's not really being of service either, because now I'm in resentment and I'm in anger, and there's no resentment. I didn't do it from a space of love. I did it because I kind of was escaping myself again today. From something that I wanted to do, but I'm going to blame you for taking me out of my day, and then I'm going to treat you like shit because of it. But I think I'm seeing today that whatever that comes up is just here for my highest good. The universe is always working for me, not against me. And when I start to see life like that, that no matter what is coming up in today, that the universe is always working for me to bring me in conscious contact with my higher self, with my guides, with my angels. And I'm telling you what, now will be step 11, which will be the next video I make. But this is completely about, could I have done something different? Could I have said different? And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm not looking to be perfect. Perfection is out the door, because that was something that really kept me like a hermit in isolation, because that is like lack of self-worth and worthiness, and all those things would come up. Because if I'm not doing it perfect, then I must be doing something wrong, and that there's something wrong with me and I don't get it. So I can go into self-pity and blame and all that all over again. So in working the 12 steps that has brought me from 1 to 10 today, I'm just to go about today and be the best version of myself as I can be in the day I'm in, without creating anger or resentment or self-pity or dishonesty and anything of that nature, because today I'm conscious of that. So take inventory is the step 10 before I go to sleep. If I hurt you, I will be picking up that phone and calling you and say, you know what, today this happened between us, and I overreacted, or I saw things different as the way I'm seeing it today. I took some time out, and it's kind of like I'm making amends again. But this isn't about let me be perfect so you can be happy. This is about me not doing things to hurt you consciously. So sometimes we do things unconsciously, and then later we regret it, or we become disappointed in ourselves. And this isn't about staying in that either. That's that self-pity. So clean it up. So it is about in the day. So how are you responding today to your work, to your family, to strangers? And could you have done it differently today? And the answer is, if I could have done it differently, I would have. But now that I'm conscious that, oh my God, I'm going back into old behavior, I can have compassion for myself and for others, especially others who are not working a program. And I'm not here to judge them, because I'm the one who's in recovery. I'm the one who wants the shift and the change. So I have to become that shift and change that I want to see in you. Because if I'm shifting, when I'm shifting and changing, then your response towards me will be different from the responses I've had in the past. And this isn't about pleasing other people. This is just about living a very zenful life, living a life where I'm happy in the morning. I'm in gratitude in the morning, and I'm grateful for how I responded today. And again, family is a huge trigger for me. And I know when I keep saying that, I keep bringing more of that in me, and I kind of have to see myself like, why does this keep happening? And so there's still something within me that is unhealed, even through 7 years of recovery. There's still things within me that I'm either escaping or not wanting to look at. Step 10 will show me how could I do it differently. And that's kind of a short version of step 10. And I think I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. So again, finally, we begin to see that all people, including ourselves, are to some extent emotionally ill as well as frequently wrong. And then we approach true tolerance and see what real love for our fellow actually means. It will become more and more evident as we go forward that it is pointless to become angry or to get hurt by people who, like us, are suffering from the pains of growing up. And that is so beautiful because, you know what, we all have a story, and we're all doing the best that we can. And we are fortunate working a program that teaches us how to look at self and how self behaves in the day that we are in. So let's, I think today I'm just going to go with messages of life. And then I was reading, I have this book that is called the Nightly Book of Positive Quotations. And today was actually pretty good, so I'm going to read that one. And I just want to close out with 2 pulls and kind of see what comes out today. And today is the Eyes of the Heart. So I'm hoping that you can see that. And let me just see if you can see that. Let me see. And it's so beautiful. It's a gorgeous card here. So to me, it looks like the spirit guides that are looking down. And this says, I rediscovered the real beauty in everything and every person I meet. I see beyond the personality and its superficial nature. And I see with my heart the energy of love that dwells in all of us. This is so perfect. I now am filled with wonder at the presence of God in all that is. The eyes of the heart allows me to see the divine shining everywhere. I now live in the true light. Oh my God. This is so perfect because you know what? Whether you believe in God, whether you believe in a power greater than yourself, and if you've done the program, then you do have a God of your own understanding. Call it energy, source, spirit. You know, we're all here having this human experience, and we did not come with a manual, but you know what? Through any kind of program, we've kind of been given a manual, and the manual, it's never too late to change, right? So today's on this book right here, it says Inner Worth. And it says, no one can figure out your worth but you, by Pearl Bailey. Others can encourage and compliment us, but only we have the power to fully recognize our own value. No amount of praise will change the opinion of someone who believes he or she has little worth. When we are thoroughly convinced of our own worth, we are unstoppable. Undue criticism and difficult times may rattle us, but nothing can shatter that inner knowledge. I am precious. I am infinite. Valued just the way I am. And it's so perfect. Thank you for joining me. And next week I'll come up with step 11 and 12. And that will be the series of the 12 steps. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so and share this with someone else who could use the guidance. Thank you so much. Namaste.